Welcome, Time Detectives! So glad you're joining us for this explainer on transforming everyday, mundane household items into a brilliantly curated school museum. I'm absolutely thrilled to guide you through this process today. We're going to take things that, might just look like junk at first glance and uncover the fascinating, deeply personal histories locked inside them. Your mission literally starts right now.
Think about it for a second. What if a time machine was hiding right inside your own closet? It's honestly so easy to look at those dusty boxes in your storeroom or maybe up in your grandparents' attic and just see, clutter. But today, we're shifting that perspective entirely. We want you to start seeing those forgotten corners not as junk, but as actual portals to the past.
It really is an incredible journey. Imagine following a single, seemingly forgotten clay pot from a cobwebbed, dusty attic box right through the careful hands of whoever discovers it all the way to a beautifully lit museum pedestal. It's a great reminder that history isn't just about ancient kings and massive earth-shattering battles. It's about the everyday tools, the clothes, and the tech that regular people actually used in their daily lives.
To pull this whole thing off, we're going to follow a really simple 4-step roadmap. Hunting for hidden history, unlocking secrets with AI, using the artifact care matrix, and finally, designing the museum exhibition.
Okay, let's dive right into Phase 1, Hunting for Hidden History, where we discover forgotten treasures right at home. This phase is really all about treating our own living spaces like an active, exciting archaeological dig site. As you start poking around and looking closely at the items hiding in your closets, keep this golden rule of thumb in mind. If it tells a story about how life used to be, it absolutely belongs in our museum. Seriously, you don't need to dig up ancient dinosaur bones or find Roman swords here. You're looking for relatable, everyday items that carry the real weight of memory.
To make your search a bit easier, there are 3 main categories of hidden history you should be hunting for. First up is technology. Think vintage cameras, those absolute brick-sized 1990s mobile phones, or even those incredibly heavy iron presses. Second, household items, like old brass utensils or maybe some intricately carved wooden furniture. And third, personal relics. This could be old coins, stamps, or handwritten letters from decades ago. Basically, you're curating a collection that ranges all the way from the mechanical heft of a metal press to the delicate ink of a handwritten note.
Moving right along to Phase 2, Unlocking Secrets with AI, your digital magnifying glass. Here, we're going to contrast those ancient analog artifacts you just dug up with the cutting-edge digital tech we're going to use to actually understand them.
So, your smartphone? It's no longer just a device for scrolling social media, it's now your ultimate research assistant. By using AI tools like Google Lens, you can instantly scan a completely unknown object. You just point it at a strange brass tool, or maybe a 1920s bronze coin, and the AI acts as a digital magnifying glass. It cross-references global databases in seconds to tell you its date, its material, and what it was historically used for. It's honestly an incredible way to instantly build a timeline for an object that's just been sitting silently in a drawer for years.
And get this, that digital magic works for written languages too. If you find faded documents, you just follow 2 super simple steps. Step 1, extract that faded text using optical character recognition or OCR tools like Adobe Scan. Step 2, translate the meaning using an AI like Bashini or Google Translate. It is absolutely mind-blowing to see a 100-year-old letter, written in a completely unfamiliar script, just magically become a perfectly readable, fascinating story for your museum visitors.
All right, now that we know what we have and what it all means, Phase 3 is all about preservation. Welcome to the artifact care matrix. We need to physically protect these items so we don't accidentally destroy their historical value while we're trying to show them off to the community. The rules of preservation depend entirely on the material itself. This care matrix is super crucial because you really have to adapt to the physical senses of the object. For instance, for wooden carvings, you've got to dust them gently with a soft brush, but absolutely do not use harsh chemicals. No way. For metal and brass, you can wash and polish them, but never ever leave them damp. Always dry them immediately. And for delicate cloth and photographs, you must store those flat in protective envelopes. The gentle dusting of carved wood just requires totally different care than polishing tarnished brass, right? Which brings us to the most important point of all, the golden rule. Always maintain a safe distance and never handle fragile items without permission. Above everything else, this is the ultimate safety protocol for any young curator handling someone's precious family relics. History is fragile, guys, and it's our job to protect it first and foremost.
Finally, we enter Phase 4, Designing the Museum Exhibition. This is the really exciting part, where we share the story with the world.
transforming a standard classroom or school hall into a captivating, structured historical exhibition.
When you're planning your space, a really strong blueprint is everything. It ensures clear walking paths for your visitors. You want the flow to be completely natural, guiding people seamlessly from the welcome desk all the way to the exit without any crowding. You also want to make sure your safety zones are clearly marked out, ensuring heavy items are secure and the fragile stuff is placed well out of direct accidental reach.
Once the physical space is planned out, we need to focus on the artifacts themselves by creating artifact ID cards. Think of this as a descriptive label that basically gives a silent object a voice. It details the object's name, its historical era, the donor, its historical significance, and crucial care instructions. Because obviously these objects can't speak for themselves, it's your vital job as the curator to craft these ID cards so the artifacts can communicate their rich stories directly to your audience.
When you're crafting these cards, you'll want to include highly specific details in the stories section. For example, maybe you found a 1960s Yashica camera. Did it capture a historic village wedding? Was it actually the very first camera in the entire town? Those details matter. You can also use small, clever icons in the bottom corner of the card as a brilliant, quick way to communicate care instructions, like noting if the item is extremely fragile or if it's actually safe to touch for your guests. And then it's time to bring the whole exhibition to life and welcome your community. You want to spread the word and strategically position student volunteer guides right next to the most important exhibits. Having a guide standing there ready to answer questions and explain the history, well, that turns a static display into a truly engaging, interactive experience. Oh, and definitely don't forget the guestbook station at the exit to capture all that amazing visitor feedback.
So the most crucial takeaway here is that this explainer is just the beginning. Your real mission starts today. Tonight's assignment is to go out and find your very first artifact. Search those shelves, open up those boxes, and most importantly, ask an older relative about the story behind what you find. Bring it to class tomorrow, and let's start building this museum together.
I'm going to leave you with this final thought. As you open those closets tonight, I really want you to ask yourself, what forgotten story is waiting in your home to be rediscovered and shared with the world? Get ready to step into the shoes of a time detective and bring your own piece of history into the light. Happy hunting!